Today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my thoughts and my experiences growing up with money, what I thought about it, how it has changed over the years, and how I see money now. I believe this is going to be very beneficial to you guys because it's going to save you a lot of headaches, it's going to save you a lot of trouble, and it's going to open up your mind so you can have a mindset that is open to money, receives money, and makes money multiply. Let's get rid of that poor mindset and let's grow together. Let's dive into it, guys. Growing up, I always heard the same thing. Money is the root of all evil. Rich people are greedy. Wanting more makes you selfish. And I believed it. I carried those beliefs straight into adulthood. And without realizing it, they held me back. I avoided opportunities, I pushed success away, and I stayed stuck. But here's the truth. Money isn't the enemy. It's a tool. And once I changed that mindset, everything in my life started to shift. Today, I want to show you those old money myths. They shape us. And more importantly, how to break free from them. So we're going to begin where everything starts, where everything begins, back in your childhood. So I came from third world country. I came from Mexico. My parents brought me to this country when I was very young. I was 5 years old. And when we came to this country, we didn't have anything, like nothing at all. So, like any other immigrant, we came to this country with the mindset of working hard, making money, and building a better future for ourselves. And one thing I do remember as a very young child, as a very young boy, was that my parents worked very hard. My dad would often have two jobs, my mom would have one job, and then my mom would come home and she would still work, clean the house and make food. So hard work was not a problem in my household. The problem in my household is the way we thought about money. Well, in this case, particularly how my parents thought about money. So coming from a very poor background, my parents worked hard, but all the money that they made, they spent it all. Because in the mindset of my parents was, I've never had this amount of money before. So what am I going to do? I'm going to spend it. I'm going to live the good life. I'm going to spend on what I want because I sacrificed myself because they believed since they earned it, they believed they were entitled to it. So everything that they earned, they spent. They spent it on food. They spent it on cars. They spent it on clothes. As I shared before, my father was an alcoholic for a really long time. So a lot of that money went to alcohol and parties and buying things for friends, and it was just squandered. And one of the things my parents always used to say was, you should spend your money now because you never know if you're going to live until tomorrow. Which now looking back at it is a very ignorant thing to say. But like I said before, my parents, they weren't very smart with money. Their parents didn't teach them about money, so they knew nothing about money. And also, at the same time, they didn't want to. They didn't know that, one day you're going to get old. One day you're going to have to look into your future and see that your physical health is going to deteriorate. It is not going to be there anymore. So you have to build something that's going to take care of you later. You have to set a good base to build on. And my parents didn't have that. So I grew up thinking that. And another thing is that we always lived in apartments crammed together, living with other people. And they did that to save money, to keep spending. They didn't do this to save that money, to invest it for an emergency fund. They didn't do any of those things. But to make a long story short, I grew up thinking that money was made to be spent. You didn't hold on to money. You spent it. You had fun. That's what money was to me. Never was I taught that money was a tool that, it could buy you freedom, that it could buy you options, that it was going to take care of you in your senior years, that You should be thinking about your future and how this money is going to help you. None of these things were taught to me. My parents were in the, I guess you could say, the YOLO mode. You only live once. And that's where it all started. And this continued into my later years, when I got out of my house, when I got married, when I had my kids. I continued doing the same thing. I continued spending. I bought CDs, I bought DVDs, cars, clothes, TVs. Oh wow, a lot of stupid things. And now thinking back, like, dude, I could have saved so much money with this if somebody would just taught me how to do it. But I'm not going to play the victim. I'm not going to blame my parents. I'm going to blame myself, because I had the power, right? I could have made that choice. I could have learned, could have seen the example of other people, which I had, but I never really asked myself those questions. And we fast forward to now, which is a few years back, where it finally clicked. And I believe the big moment that just made everything come together was just my physical health. Um, I could see that I started getting tweaks here and there. I started getting tired. Started seeing that this body is not going to last forever. And if I don't take care of things now, if I don't make things good right now, I'm not really going to have a very good retirement. I'm going to have a very good future down the road. So I finally got my stuff together. I started to learn. I mean, I hadn't read a book since I was back in high school. So I started reading books, started listening to podcasts. I started learning everything I could about money, about time, about resources, investing, savings, you name it. It just lit a fire under my butt. I just got going. And here we are now. My life completely changed. Another thing that shaped the way I looked at money and how money was spent or used was my culture and my religion. I grew up as a Catholic, and I remember going to church. And one of the things that I remember the most that really stuck out was this: Matthew 6:24. No man can serve two masters, or he will love one and hate the other, or else he will hold on to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and money. So one of the things they teach you in religion, especially in the Catholic religion, is that you're supposed to be a servant. You're supposed to serve others and look for others' needs before yourself. And in that case, being the church. The church, God, comes before anything else. So right then and there, that kind of popped any kind of dream or any kind of goal that you had to becoming rich. It's like, yeah, rich, it's not very important. My job is to serve God. My job is to serve the people that follow God, the churchgoers, the church. So I had this mindset that I had to be a servant. I never had the mindset of being anything more than that. We were all servants to God, and that's what I believed. And then you throw in your culture as a Latino culture, especially at that time. Most of us came to this country to build a better life, to make money. But like I said before, my parents, their parents, we all came from a very poor background. We all came from not having money, from not having ambitions to build something in the future. Our goal wasn't to be rich. Our goal was just to make money and to live life. So that's another thing that goes against us. And later on, I'm going to be making another video about that, about why most Latino men are poor. But that's a video for a different discussion. Let's close that out. So we have religion telling you that money is bad, or at least that's what they made me believe. I could be wrong. Then you had culture, my culture, seeing all these people buying these trucks, buying these clothes, these TV, going on vacations, living life high on the hog. And then you think, okay, money's bad. But at the same time, money buys me all these things, right? So why hold on to money? I'm going to spend my money. I'm going to live my life because I want to be happy. And it's in this ignorance and these convoluted messages that you become to think the wrong thing. Money becomes something completely different than what it could be in your life. So let's move on now to where I'm at now. What I think about money now, how it has changed, and the positive thing about money, how it can help you, how it can shape your life, how it can give you options, freedom, tools, you name it. They say that money doesn't buy happiness, but it does buy pretty much everything else. So the first thing is you have to change your mindset about money. And this starts in your mind. Reframe money. Just think differently. Money is energy. Money is a tool. Money is a hammer. Money is a brick. You can use a brick to destroy. You can throw it through a window. You can smash it into a car. Or you can use a brick to build a house. But see, the brick, it's not alive. Same thing with money. Money's not alive. Money's just a piece of paper. But you can use this piece of paper as energy. You can use it to buy something. You can use it to invest in something and it'll grow. Money can give you a lot of options in life. And that's how you have to think about it. Money is a tool. Money is energy. You have to keep it flowing. You build with it. That's one concept that you have to understand. So the second thing is money doesn't buy happiness, but this is what it buys. It buys freedom. It buys time. It buys options. It buys peace of mind and the ability to help others. Marcus Aurelius once said, "What are you afraid of losing when nothing in the world actually belongs to you?" Memento mori. So remember that you're going to die. I mean, that's one of the reasons I have these guys here, that and because it's getting close to Halloween. But yeah, I mean, that is the ultimate rule in life right there. One day we are going to die. Well, then taxes, but taxes some other time. But yeah, we all have an expiration date. We don't know it, but one day we will die. I believe this is what gives life beauty. Life is beautiful in that sense because every day it's a gift. Every day you wake up and you really don't think about this. But I believe that's one of the most important things that you can do in your life is to make peace with the fact that you're going to die. And when you do make peace, then death no longer holds control over you because now you are free to do whatever you want because you know you're going to die. You accept it, you make peace with it, and you move on. So, what are some of the things I can do to start changing this poor mindset into a wealthy mindset, right? Or here are some of the things that I started doing when I completely changed my mind. Block out negative thoughts, block out old beliefs, switch them to empowering thoughts. One example is more money, more problems. Nah, how about more money, more options? Learn the basics of savings, investing, budgeting. Remember, control builds confidence. And at the end of the day, this is what we're striving for, which is control of our money, control of our finances. And as you learn these things, as you know what's going on in your family and with your money, then you'll learn to control it. You build an emergency fund, you start budgeting. Once you pay off the debt, because I mean, I know most of us are in debt. I'm in debt. You're in debt. We're all in debt. Or at least most of us are, right? So that's something that we take control of. And once you start implementing these things and you start getting that debt down, you start erasing that debt, then you can move on into investing. Then you can move on into the options of building a business, real estate. I mean, you have so many options. It's incredible. But we go back to the same thing, right? I mean, you have to learn these things. You have to open your mind to wanting to be rich, to be wanting to be wealthy, and leave back that mindset of money's this, money's that. No, money builds options. Money is a tool. Money is energy. And just over and over and over again until it finally sticks. It's a tattoo on your mind. One important thing, and something that really helped me out a lot and put everything to perspective, is to write down what money could positively do for you and others in your life. So, where are you right now? What kind of situation are you in? What situation are you tired of? Are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Are you tired of being a modern day slave where you're working endless amounts of hours at jobs that you hate? Are you in debt? Do you have dreams and goals that you want to accomplish in life, but you can't because money's holding you back? Don't let money be a crutch. Don't let money hold you back. Make money your friend. You have to make money something positive in your life. And that's something that only you can do. You have to go back, just like I did, look at your childhood, sorry about that, and see how you were brought up. What were the things that you were taught or that you saw about money, and how you have brought this into your life, into your family, and what you're doing with it now. But more importantly, how can you change that? How can you change that for something better? Not just for you, but for your family, your mom, your dad, your kids, your friends, your community, the world. I mean, if you think about it, it's endless. It's one of the things that I've learned, and this is going to be another video, is that most people want to get rich for different reasons, but it all comes down to three very important reasons. Number one is they want to be wealthy because they want all these material things, right? They want the cars, they want the houses, they want the boats. And once you get all those things, then you see that those things are not going to fill that hollow, that empty space that you have inside of you because it's just material things, it's not spiritual. Then you move on to number two, which is, okay, now that I took care of all the fun that, I'm bored, then you move on to legacy. Like, I want to build something for my family, for my kids, for future generations. So they have the options that I never had, right? And then once you do that, then you go to number three. And this is something that a lot of rich people, wealthy people do, which is they did all this work to gain all this money, to become wealthy. And at the end of their life, they give it back because they want to leave this world a better place than when they came in. And I believe this is the ultimate goal. This is something that I have finally come to understand and that I want to do when I become rich and wealthy, which is give back, help other people come up to where I am. Money isn't the enemy, it's the fuel. If you want to go anywhere in life, you can't run on empty. As I've said it before, this channel is called Ivan versus Time because time is the most important thing in life. But if you think about it, so is money because money can buy you time. They're both intertwined together. They both go together, just like coffee and creamer. So I'll leave you guys with this. Money isn't the enemy, it's the fuel. And if you want to go anywhere in life, you can't run on empty. Money and time, two most important things in your life. Master these, and you will have a wonderful life, an easier life, a life full of fun, full of options, and full of endless possibilities. So remember, change your mindset and you change your life. Thanks for joining. If you guys enjoyed this, if you got anything out of it, do me a huge favor, hit like and subscribe. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for giving me the most important thing in your life, which is your attention and your time. I love you all. Take care. Que tengan un buen día. Hasta luego.